I got bullied. Those jerks who treated me badly even threatened to come to my house. I begged them not to. They don't know that I'm the only normal person in my family. My dad is a serial killer. Mom has a dangerous obsession. My brother is a sociopath. I'm just a delicate little flower, really. I went home with a heavy heart. My dad opened the door for me. He was wearing an apron, smiling super gently. You're hungry, right? Dad made you some snacks. His smile got even broader, but it terrified me. His apron was covered in red stains, obviously fresh. Dad followed my scared gaze and chuckled. I accidentally stained the apron again. Your mom's gonna scold me later. I nervously took off my shoes and stepped inside. On a chair was a tied-up young woman. Her hair was a mess, face full of bruises, and her lips were sewn together. When she saw me, she whimpered and looked at me with pleading eyes. I shuddered and looked away. This lady left her daughter, not even 5, out alone to be with some guy. The poor kid had a tragic accident. Imagine how much she suffered, Dad said softly. I stiffly sat on the couch, not daring to look her way. Soon, her horrific screams filled the house, lasting a gut-wrenching several minutes before fading. Dad took off his glasses, wiped the red off them, and smiled at me. Luna, it might get unpleasant next. Why don't you go to your room? Once I got the go-ahead, I sprinted to my room. I could still hear Dad's long sigh behind me. He murmured, "Why is this kid nothing like us?" I was shaking so bad I could barely stand, covered in cold sweat. It wasn't my first time seeing Dad do this. The first time he killed in front of me, I was only 5. He took care of a man right there. Said this guy had been hurting his wife for years, until she couldn't take it, and ended her own suffering. The man never faced justice, so Dad delivered it. I took a deep breath, struggling to calm my nerves. But what really has me on edge is tomorrow night. That group who bullies me every day is coming over. Just thinking about their faces makes my stomach hurt. I've pleaded with them so many times not to come. Yet, after slapping me a few times, they laughed and said they wanted to see what kind of family raised someone like me. They have no idea that no one who visits my house ever leaves alive. There was a knock on the door. I opened it to find my mom. She has a gentle, pretty face, but only I know how terrifying she is. Mom stared at me with a smile. "Take off your clothes." "Mom," I pleaded, looking at her almost desperately. Yet I still tremblingly took off my clothes. "Who did this?" Her smile grew, but I knew she was furious. When she gets mad, she does awful things. When I was 5, a boy in preschool pulled out some of my hair. The next day he disappeared. The news said he accidentally fell from a building, but I knew the candy in his hand was one Mom often bought for me. In elementary school, my teacher thought we were poor. She mocked me often. Even though I did chores with my desk mate, she always made the hardest work mine. When I fell holding a heavy bucket, she just laughed. I didn't dare tell my family. I hated that teacher, but I didn't want my family doing something bad. But Mom figured it out anyway. Soon, I saw the news of the teacher's death. She was attacked by thugs on her way home. When I saw the thugs' faces, I froze. I had seen Mom laughing with them near our place before. Mom's cold fingers touched my bruises, snapping me back. I shivered in fear. Mom sighed softly. "Sometimes I really wonder, are you really my child?" I stared silently at her face, because I knew I wasn't their biological kid. Ever since I was little, I was soft-hearted, cried easily. Once my cat ran out when I opened the door. By the time I found it, it was so weak. I cried so hard. My brother, tired of my tears, said, "You don't want it to suffer, right?" I nodded tearfully. Then he swiftly ended the cat's misery. But I clearly remembered him smiling a little as he did it. Later, Dad looked at the surveillance and saw 2 boys from the neighborhood tortured the cat. We went to those boys' parents. They brushed it off, saying, "Just a stray cat. We'll pay." Calling the cops. "Our kids are just 14. Plus, it ran out, scaring our kids. I might ask you for damages." One boy peeked from behind his mom, smiling wickedly. "That cat scratched us first. You hear that? I should be asking for money. Who knows if your wild cat had rabies?" The woman scoffed. I was so mad I started crying. I saw on the surveillance footage that they stepped on Mimi's tail on purpose. That's why Mimi scratched them. The boy said, not even a bit guilty, who said I did it on purpose. It was an accident. This scratchy cat should be put down. I was so angry I wanted to argue, but the boy's mom pushed me to the ground. My brother helped me up and said, nonchalantly, he's right. You deal with beasts that scratch by putting them down. His voice carried a chilling coldness. My parents didn't say a word, just smiled at the woman and her kid. The woman seemed to have never met parents like mine, who didn't argue back, and didn't even change their expression. She looked a bit guilty as she hurried us away. A few nights later, I woke up from crying, and went to the kitchen for some water. The front door opened. I saw my brother walk in. His face was unclear in the darkness. I smelled a faint scent of blood. There was a stark red stain on his jacket. Brother, what did you do? I asked, trembling, even though I already had a horrible suspicion. He grinned, just took care of some scratchy beasts. The next day, there were a lot of cops around our neighborhood. Turns out those two boys were cut open the night before, their guts spilled all over. That's my family for you. They seem to spoil and love me, but they terrify me. Mom pinched my cheek. What are you thinking about? Mom was just saying it casually. You're my baby, born after 10 months. Luna, Mom got a letter in the mailbox for you. She handed me the envelope. I opened it, puzzled. My eyes widened as my body froze. Inside was a photo. In the picture, I was like a dog being trampled on, my belly pressed down. The bullies poured glue over my head. They were laughing so happy. I remember what they said. A bitch doesn't deserve such nice hair. The pain of being stomped on by high heels felt so fresh. On the back of the photo it said, we're really looking forward to visiting Luna's house and seeing how a bitch's family lives. It ended with a super cute smiley face. Cold sweat ran down my forehead. I instinctively tried to hide the photo behind me, but Mom didn't give me the chance to hide it. She easily took the photo from my hand. I watched her nervously. Her expression didn't change at all, still carrying that slight smile. Luna, did they give you those injuries? And you cut your hair because of them? I nodded nervously, pressing my cheek to her hand, trembling. Mom, please, I can transfer schools. We can tell the teacher. Don't hurt them. I pleaded like a scared little animal. Whenever I'd gotten Mom mad before, I just had to do this, and she'd forgive me. Mom laughed. Her dark eyes fixated on me. Luna, even though Mom loves your little acts, this time it's not gonna work. Didn't I tell you we have to be warm to our guests, not turn them away? Mom gently caressed my face and whispered softly, we'll prepare them the most grand, unforgettable night. Hearing Mom's words, my body slowly turned cold. That night I had a nightmare. In my dream, I went back to when I was 8. I stood barefoot in the living room. It was dark, no lights on. The door to Mom and Dad's room was slightly open. A faint light seeped through. I heard their voices. Curious, I held my doll and approached. I don't know if bringing this child here was right or wrong. Regretting it? Not really, but the kid's personality. If we stop liking it later, we can just kill it. Our garden's already got more than one body, ha ha ha. A chill went from my feet to my limbs. At 8, it felt like falling into a cold hell. Suddenly, silence fell in the room. Their faces slowly peeked out from the door. They showed uniform smiles and said, kids who eavesdrop on parents are bad kids. I jolted awake, covered in sweat. That conversation I accidentally overheard at 8 became my nightmare, like a rope around my neck. I don't know when it'll tighten. I'm not their biological child. That's why I'm nothing like them. If they ever get unhappy, they'd kill me. Just like those people Dad killed, slit my throat, watch my blood spill, wait for death and despair. Suddenly, from the corner of my eye, I saw the door was slightly open. I was shocked. I was sure I locked it before sleeping. A figure stood quietly in the dark. I recognized the shape of the high-end polished leather shoes. Brother, I said, trembling. He came out of the dark. He's usually busy with work, rarely home. I hadn't seen him for nearly 3 months. He looked down at me, his handsome face unreadable. You're back, brother, I forced a smile. More than my parents, my brother scares me the most. Because every night when he was home, no matter how many times I locked my door, I'd wake from nightmares to find him sitting expressionless by my bed. Watching me intently, he reached out and touched my ear. His fingers were cold. I shivered, suppressing discomfort. But I didn't show any resistance. Because I knew, the more I resisted, the more he'd get excited. Mom called me, said your classmates are coming over tomorrow, told me not to miss it. My body gradually went stiff, my back tensed up. We have to entertain the guests as a family, right, Luna? He chuckled, giving my ear a gentle pinch. And I've missed you. My brother slowly took off his coat. He sat by my bed, staring at me like a greedy snake. Why can't Luna hug her brother like she does her teddy bear? His eyes were dark as night, and his voice was deep and raspy. It was a nice voice with that unique hoarse quality, but I just felt chill after chill across my entire body. Bro, I want to sleep. Can you leave? I muttered with a pale face. He stared at me for a long time. Finally, he gave me a soft kiss on the forehead. Good night, Luna. He got up and left the room. I clutched my blanket tightly, pulling it over my head, curling up inside. I knew. He didn't leave. He just pretended to. 'Cause that sticky, icy gaze didn't go away. When I woke up again, it was already morning. I had somehow drifted to sleep while feeling hazy last night. I went to the bathroom, quickly freshening up. The face in the mirror was too soft, too pale. I took a deep breath, telling myself, no matter what, you've got to stop them from coming over today. In the corner of the living room, there were more black trash bags bulging. I could even smell the faint metallic scent coming from them. My stomach churned with nausea. No need to guess what was inside those bags. But what puzzled me was that the number of bags seemed off. There were a lot fewer than before. Luna, come have breakfast, dear. Dad made lean meat porridge just for you. Dad, smiling brightly, wore an apron. On the table was a pot full of steaming porridge. The air was thick with the smell of meat. My brother, wearing a suit, sat at the table, gracefully scooping porridge into his bowl. I sat there, pale, staring at the startlingly bright chunks of red meat floating in the porridge. Could it be? A terrible thought crossed my mind. Taking small sips of porridge, my brother smiled lightly and said, Luna, why aren't you drinking? Honestly, young folks taste so much better than the old ones. I couldn't hold it any longer, and dashed to the bathroom to retch. From the living room, I heard Mom's complaining voice. Don't tease your sister like that. You know Luna is timid. And that's pork I bought at the market this morning. Hearing Mom's words, I exhaled in relief, slumping to the floor. I turned my head, only to meet my brother's amused eyes. I forgot. He loves seeing me like this. I turned down the driver's offer to drive me, absent-mindedly taking the bus to school. As soon as I walked into the classroom, a few sets of eyes I feared locked onto me immediately, like beasts eyeing their prey. Uneasy, I walked to my desk and sat down. The minute I sat, something felt off. Laughter snickered from behind. I tried to stand up, but my skirt was glued tight to the chair. Suddenly, the sound of tearing fabric ripped through the air. All eyes turned my way. My skirt was torn. Nobody laughed out loud, but in their eyes was blatant mockery. Instantly, my face drained of color. Oh no, who put glue on Luna's chair? Making our Luna embarrassed? Here, take my jacket. Ruby sidled up next to me, gently placing a jacket over my lap. Startled, I flinched a bit. Larry, get Luna a new chair. The stout guy with the buzz cut gave a hearty acknowledgement, swiftly swapping out the chair for me. But I caught a quick flash of malice in his eyes. All right, Luna, class is about to start. Sit down quickly. Ignoring my protests, Ruby pressed me back down into the chair. The next moment, a stinging pain shot from the base of my thigh. I let out a short gasp, sweat instantly dotting my forehead. Ruby leaned close, whispering softly for only me to hear. Did you know, Luna? Back in the day, female dogs would get drowned, but I think that's too harsh for you. Instead, I stuck thumbtacks on the clothes. Be thankful. The pain had taken my voice, leaving me with only sharp intakes of breath. The bell for class rang. Ruby returned to her seat. I could feel blood seeping from my skin. Sticky warm. The teacher walked in. When I lifted my head, our eyes met. She saw my pain-stricken, almost bloodless face. She quickly looked away, casually flipping her textbook. It's not like I hadn't tried going to the teacher before. I told her about it. She said she'd help me. That day, she even said we'd talk seriously after class. The teacher seemed sincere, but maybe I was too desperate to notice her slightly trembling hand and unnatural eyes. She took me to a quiet room, said we'd talk it over there. But as soon as I entered, there was Ruby and her gang, their smiles beaming. That day it hurt, but I got used to it. In that blur, I began to mock myself. I knew Ruby's dad was a high-ranking official who donated heavily to the school. No one dared to cross her. The pain was just too much. I whipped my head around, seeing a familiar figure pass by outside the window. The pain was unbearable, so I jumped up. My desk mate gasped. Your clothes are covered in blood. Ruby quickly chimed in. Teacher, looks like Luna's period started. I'll take her to the restroom. No need, I can go by myself. The teacher gave a quick glance, then said coldly, let Ruby go with you. Whispers filled the room. I heard Luna's family couldn't even afford pads, using tissues instead. Ugh, gross. No wonder there's blood all over. I opened my mouth to explain, but eventually just looked down, not saying a word. Ruby's long acrylic nails dug painfully into my arm, hurting. She laughed as she led me away from the classroom, and then dropped the smile, shoving me hard to the ground. I hit the ground hard. Ruby looked down at me without any expression. I looked up at her too. When did it come to this? A storm of thoughts raced through my mind. When I first transferred here, no one bullied me. People were pretty nice. It's a fancy private school. Maybe it's because I take the bus to school every day. Or maybe I just don't fit in. Or it could be because the guy Ruby's crushing on stopped me after school one day, blushing, telling me he likes me. But I was just trying to do them a favor. All those people who wanted to be friends or confess to me, they suddenly disappeared one day. Because my brother held me tightly, whispering like a lover. I'm sorry, I'm just too jealous. Why do they get Luna's affection? Luna never really smiles at me like that. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my fingers. Ruby stepped on my fingertips with her Chanel flats. Luna, I'm really looking forward to visiting your house tonight. You better treat us well, and make sure we have fun. Ruby's pretty face exuded an innocent kind of cruelty. I stared at her for a while, finally managing to numbingly squeeze out one word, okay. Ruby was taken aback. She probably didn't expect me to agree. But soon, an even nastier smile appeared on her face. Can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait either. After school, Ruby and the others surrounded me, worried I might run away. Outside the school gate, a white Maybach was parked. A tall man leaned against the car door. The moment I saw him, my body instinctively stepped back. It was my brother. Luna, I'm here to take you home. He smiled. I saw a flicker of surprise in Ruby and her friend's eyes. Ruby grinned wider. She softly said, Luna, why didn't you tell me you had such a handsome brother? I stayed silent. Ruby boldly stepped forward, introducing herself. Brother, hi. We're Luna's good friends. I'm Ruby. Luna invited us over today. He raised an eyebrow, smiling. You're very welcome to come. When I went to sit in the front seat, Ruby subtly pushed me aside. Luna, I'm feeling a bit unwell. The front seat's more spacious. Brother, can I sit in the front? Of course. He replied with a smile. His gaze moved from her face down to her long, bare legs. Ruby blushed furiously. Max nudged my shoulder, teasing. Hey, your brother's into Ruby, huh? Yeah, he is. Knowing him, he was probably considering how to dismember those legs. She joked, if Ruby marries him one day, you'll be family, Luna. Having her as a sister-in-law would make you really happy, right? Max whispered in my ear. I knew she wanted to see me scared, but she was wrong. I turned my head, flashing her a reckless smile. Max was taken aback. Ruby slid into the front seat, but she quickly yelped and jumped up. Blood seeped from the inside of her thigh. A tiny thumbtack was lodged in her leg. Brother appeared genuinely surprised and apologetic. Oh no, how did that get there? Let me take you to the hospital first. Ruby was in so much pain. Her eyes teared up, and she clutched my brother's shirt. But she quickly let go in a panic. Sorry. It's alright, that was my mistake, he said softly. Ruby smirked somewhat triumphantly, glancing at me. I looked pale and my shoulders shook slightly. Max leaned in, whispering, You're afraid Ruby's going to steal your brother, aren't you? No, it's not that. I'd be relieved if she could actually take him away. Before dealing with prey, he's strangely gentle. That's what terrifies me, the fear consuming me completely. In a daze, I imagined them all as skeletons. From the moment they got in the car, their chances of survival vanished. They ended up coming home with me after all. Larry looked around, whispering in shock, Luna, you're not poor at all. Why ride the bus and make us think you were? If I had known. He trailed off. I snorted internally. If they knew I was rich, they wouldn't have bullied me? Ruby kept her expression formal, as she politely greeted my parents. Mom served everyone coffee, smiling. Luna, you have 3 good friends? You've never mentioned them. Larry seemed surprised my mom looked so young and pretty. His face flushed dark red. In that moment, he looked like any awkward teenage boy. I watched his reaction calmly, but I hadn't forgotten how cruel he'd looked, punching me over and over. Larry took a sip of coffee, then curiously asked, eyeing a black plastic bag in the corner, "Mr. and Mrs., what's inside that?" I nervously clutched the cup, my fingers turning a bit white from the grip. Dad slowly smiled and said, "Why don't you go check it out yourself?" Larry actually got up and headed towards the plastic bags. My heart was racing, it was beating so fast. My parents were grinning more and more. Larry opened a plastic bag. He covered his mouth. "Ew, gross. Smelly." Larry took a few steps back, disgusted. There were bloody pieces of meat inside the bags. A rank, off-putting smell seeped out from them. Both Ruby and Max frowned and instinctively covered their noses. Dad chuckled and explained that the meat was leftover scraps from the market, meant for the stray dogs in the neighborhood. I felt a little relieved. Larry was closest to the bags and was getting paler and kept stepping back. Ruby suddenly spoke up, "Uncle, Auntie, Luna has a pretty funny nickname at school." Mom smiled. "Oh?" Ruby quickly said, "They call her a bitch." The room's atmosphere froze. She smiled at my parents, but they didn't react as she expected. They remained calm, looking at Ruby, with their smiles not even fading a bit. Mom even chuckled lightly, as if she heard something amusing. Dad said cheerfully, "If Luna were to be likened to a cute puppy, that'd be quite fitting." Ruby's smile twitched. Max and Larry looked at my parents like they were crazy. Max whispered in my ear, "Are your parents dumb? How can they miss that hint?" Her voice wasn't too low. It was loud enough for everyone around to hear. But my parents still acted as if they hadn't heard anything. Max unhappily gulped down some coffee. Suddenly, her expression changed. Max spit something out. Her eyes went wide. "What is this?" "It's a human finger." Max screamed in horror. But everyone around only frowned at her. "A finger? This is a human finger. Luna, your parents are murderers." Max babbled, scared. "Max, calm down, take another look at what you spat out," I said calmly. Max took a deep breath and examined it again, her face turning ghostly pale. "How did it turn into a sugar cube?" "I swear I saw a finger." Max trembled as she spoke. "A finger? Watched too many horror movies, eh?" Larry scoffed. I coldly glanced out the window. There vibrant flowers grew. They say if you grind these flowers into a juice and add them to food, it causes hallucinations. It took Max a while to calm down. But soon enough, Larry started acting odd. He kept glancing towards the plastic bags, nervously saying, "Do you guys hear that noise? It's coming from the bags, constantly rustling. Is there a rat in there?" Ruby frowned. "What are you talking about? None of you hear it." Larry jumped off the couch. He looked distressed. "It's a loud rustling sound. How can you not hear it?" Suddenly, a look of terror froze on his face. Larry looked like he'd seen something horrifying, a choking sound escaping his throat. I'd never seen him look so scared. A curious part of me wondered what Larry was seeing. Then, a foul-smelling liquid dripped from him. Ruby and Zara screamed, "Larry, what's wrong with you?" Larry seemed deaf to them. His eyes locked on the bags. "She crawled out. The woman crawled out of there. Didn't you see it? She crawled out." He babbled like a madman. At that moment, my parents' and brother's smiles grew widest. Max couldn't take it anymore. She burst into tears, saying she wanted to go home. "This place is too weird. I want to go home." Even though Ruby hadn't seen anything, she frowned, obviously sensing something was off. "We're leaving." She stood, grabbing her bag, then suddenly stopped and stared intensely at me. "No way." Ruby's face turned ghostly white. She looked at me like she was seeing a ghost, mumbling, "You're dead. Susan, you already died." I realized Ruby was also hallucinating. I'd heard the name Susan before. Before I transferred, Susan was the one Ruby and her friends bullied. Rumor was, she couldn't take it and jumped off the school's roof. Susan's death was quickly swept under the rug, leaving no impact. When Ruby screamed that name, Zara freaked and dragged Ruby towards the door. But soon fear took over their faces. The door was locked tight with 8 locks. My brother stood grinning in front of it. How can guests leave before having their fun? Their ordeal was about to begin. I curled up on the couch, trembling slightly. Ruby and the others passed out. When they woke, they were tightly bound. I stood behind my parents and brother, feeling a mix of nerves and complexity. "Hey, are you crazy? Why are we tied up?" Larry, upon regaining his senses, began to struggle. But he quickly realized these thin ropes were tightly secured. The more he struggled, the tighter they got. Zara cried out, "What are you doing? Why are you tying us up?" Even though Ruby looked pale, she was the calmest among them. "I suggest you let us go, otherwise my dad won't spare you," Ruby said coldly. My brother tilted his head slightly. Walking up to Ruby, he squatted down. Ruby's chest rose and fell with fear. I could see undisguised terror on her face. "Dad?" My brother laughed deeply. "Is this Dad the one you're talking about?" He pulled out a phone. In the phone there's a surveillance video. A naked man is hanging upside down, tied up by his hands and feet. He's struggling, making terrified whimpering sounds. "Are you saying this greasy pig of a man is your dad?" Ruby's calm demeanor finally breaks. She shouts angrily, "Let my dad go. You psycho. I heard your dad used to be a butcher before he became an official. The pork he butchered tasted better than anyone else's." "Ruby, do you know how he killed them?" Ruby's face turns pale. While others would end it quickly with a single cut, your dad didn't like doing it that way. He enjoyed tormenting the pigs, slicing off their limbs while they were still conscious, peeling off their skin slowly. He believed the meat was tastiest when the pig died in extreme pain. Ruby is breathing heavily, her chest heaving. She's trembling. "What do you want?" Ruby says, gritting her teeth, trying to hold back her fear. "Ruby, I'm going to give you a chance to live. All right?" My brother's voice is as gentle as can be. "Only one of you, your dad or you, can survive. I'm giving you the choice." Max cries out, "You plan to kill us? Murder is illegal. You could get the death penalty." Larry also shouts desperately to let him go. Mom strokes my head fondly. "Scared, huh? Poor thing. But we can't let you go. You bullied my Luna. She must have been just as scared." Max cries, "I'm sorry, Luna. Let me go. I'll pretend nothing happened. I won't bully you anymore. I'll do whatever you say." Big tough Larry, who could make my nose bleed with one punch, now shows a humble, pleading face to me. "Me too, please, Luna. I'll do anything for you. I'll stop being Ruby's sidekick. It was all her ideas to bully you, not mine." I watch them blankly. Right now, all I feel is the noise. Dad looks at me lovingly. "Luna, what do you think we should do?" Mom turns to look at me too. I clench my hands tight. Only the pain keeps me calm. What should I say? What should I do? My heart is pounding hard. After a long silence, I hear myself say softly, "It's your call." At that moment, the last bit of color drains from their faces. Living people's faces can look a lot like a corpse sometimes. "Brother, Ruby, my patience is wearing thin. I'll only give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Pain and rage flash across Ruby's face. In the end, she grits her teeth and says fiercely, "I choose me." A smile appears on my brother's face. "As you wish." In the surveillance video, a massive electric saw blade appears beneath the man. In the next second, with a scream like a slaughtered pig, he's sliced in half. Ruby screams, breaking down in tears. I watch her quietly. Max is so scared he wets himself. She's shaking like a leaf. Larry's face is ghostly white, too terrified to speak. They didn't expect my brother would actually do it. Despite killing someone in such a brutal way, his expression doesn't change a bit. "Now that my dad's dead, will you let me go? Please, brother. I'll do anything you want." Ruby pleads. "I know I did terrible things to Luna, but I'll change. We're minors, just kids. I'll do whatever Luna wants, okay?" Ruby begs desperately. My brother looks at her with pity. "And you believe a lunatic?" "I've read Luna's diary," he sighs and continues slowly. My lips twitch slightly, but nothing comes out in the end. "Luna said she begged you to spare her. She's kind-hearted. She can't bear to see anyone die for her. She gave you so many chances to live, but you refused to let her go. Now you've run out of chances." "What was Luna's nickname at school?" "Alright, a bitch." "Luna, Big Bro wants to help you see what a real bitch looks like, okay?" He turns to look at me with his dark eyes. Memories of blood and pain flood my mind. My hands tremble uncontrollably from extreme anxiety. I know what he intends to do. I shudder violently. The air around me feels deep, cold, and damp. Mom sighs, "Come on, stop asking Luna. You know how soft-hearted she is." When Ruby realizes my brother won't spare her, she ends up spewing the nastiest curses at us. Brother doesn't care though. He seriously starts measuring Ruby's legs. "These legs are way too long. Dog legs are short, right? We'll have to saw off a lot. Her arms too, they're too long." Finally, despair swallows Ruby whole. She suddenly remembers how the man stared at her legs before she got in the car. He had planned all along to turn her into a dog. Luna, it's about to get messy. I know you never liked this part. My brother grins. Mom takes my hand. Luna, let's go downstairs. Let the men handle this dirty work. Luna, don't leave. Please save me. Luna, you can't just watch us die. I'm sorry, we're sorry. Please save us. The three of them are crying, begging for their lives. I stare numb at the faces that were once so arrogant. I murmur, overwhelmed. I told you, treat me however you want, just don't come to my house. I stressed it over and over. Finally, I turn my head and leave the room with Mom. The door slowly closes behind me. I can't see their utterly hopeless eyes anymore. Just like every other person I've seen killed before. Inside the room, screams echo. Screeching. But my place has a lot of soundproofing, so no worries about the neighbors hearing. I'm used to it. Yet the fear and guilt get to me, making me cry. I bury my face in Mom's arms, sobbing quietly. She gently strokes my hair. After crying for a while, I hesitantly ask, Mom, will you guys kill me like that someday? I heard I'm not your real child. Mom looks shocked, then smiles. You're talking about what you heard when you were 8. Silly. Why would you think you're not our real child? I'd never lie to you. You're my precious, born after 10 months of carrying you. I'm finding it hard to believe, I say. Mom lightly sighs. I wasn't planning to tell you, but since you're grown now, it's your right to know. Actually, your brother was the one we found and took in. We thought he'd be a normal child, but he turned out to have antisocial tendencies. We worried he'd harm you, so we were hesitating whether to handle him. But your brother, he truly loves you. I nod, holding Mom's clothes tightly. The screaming upstairs stops. The door creaks open. My brother stands on the second floor. I look up at his face, covered in blood, yet still godlike in its beauty. He's worried I'll be scared and frantically wipes the blood away. But he doesn't know, actually I'm happy. I'm Luna. My parents are natural-born sociopaths. Unfortunately, I didn't escape it. I've got it too. But I've learned how to hide it well. At 8, I knew my brother was the one they picked up. Honestly, when I learned the truth, I felt incredibly relieved. I like my brother. I like him so much I want to swallow him up, sew him into my body, and never be apart. To get him to protect me, I act innocent. Whenever he sneaks into my room at night to watch me, I shiver. Not out of fear but excitement. I love my family, but they can be kinda naive. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but while they like killing, they often make mistakes. The day my brother killed those 2 boys, I cleaned up the scene for him. Dad's never been caught for his murders over the years, because I'm always cleaning up his messes. I've lived hard, always covering for them. But I still love my mom, dad, and brother the most. Luna's epilogue. I'm Luna. My brother's a deranged sociopath. He always thought of me as pure and innocent. But really, I'm more twisted than him. Ruby and the others' bodies were found at my homeroom teacher's house. They say when she was arrested, she screamed it wasn't her doing. But her fingerprints were found all over the bodies. Before her death sentence, I visited her. I whispered something in her ear. She lost it, screaming like a madwoman. Scared the crap out of me. I told her, I gave you a chance. When I left the police station, my brother was waiting outside. Girls kept sneaking glances at him. It's annoying. Makes me want to gouge their eyes out. I walked up to him teary-eyed and said, maybe it was too harsh on the teacher, even if she didn't help me. Clutching his clothes, I continued, I don't want to see her die. He patted my head, sighed, and said, Luna, someone like her shouldn't teach. Do you want her ignoring another bullied student or worse? I nodded, sulking. Seeing my mood, he offered to take me out for hot pot. I smiled at him and said I'd be eating lots of meat. It's worth celebrating. Without Ruby and the others around, I got into the best college in the state. The night before college, my brother stood by my bed watching me. His gaze felt like snakes, cold and sticky. I couldn't stop shivering, but not out of fear, because I was excited. The bed dipped slightly. I felt him sit beside me, his fingers gliding over my neck. Instinctively, I flinched. Luna, are you thinking of running away from me? My brother whispered hoarsely, sounding as if he was holding back something. I want to keep you by my side always. His hands tightened around my neck. As I started to suffocate, my face turned red. I couldn't breathe, but I was elated because my brother must feel the same. wanting me by his side forever. Brother. A little more, just a bit tighter, and my neck would snap. But I couldn't resist opening my eyes in the end. His hands quickly released me, a rare flash of panic crossing his face. I whimpered, asking, "Were you trying to kill me?" He leaned in, whispering sorry over and over. I chose to live in a dorm because I knew it would drive him mad with jealousy. My parents dropped me off on the first day. Dad looked at me reluctantly. When he killed, he'd always be smiling. But now, this scary man had red eyes from crying because his daughter left home. "Luna, can we please not live on campus? If it's about the distance, I'll buy a villa near your school," my tall dad pleaded helplessly. My mom smiled at me and said, "Luna, can you stay at home? Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to control myself." I took a hesitant step back, looking at them helplessly and begged, "I really want to live on campus. I want to experience a normal college life." Mom's smile faded. She looked at me expressionlessly for a long time and finally sighed. "But if anyone bullies you, you know your dad and I will handle it like before, right?" I nodded nervously and said with courage, "I've already added my roommates on message. They all seem really nice." Dad and Mom eventually agreed to let me live on campus. Dad was crying as Mom pulled him away. He mumbled tearily, "Not seeing our daughter every day. How can you be okay with this?" For once, Mom looked serious and said, "You don't know. But last night I checked if Luna kicked off her blanket, and..." Her words got lost in the noisy crowd. I turned and walked into school. Before I went in, I felt a strong gaze fixed on me. I grinned, feeling good, but pretended to look back anxiously. Once I couldn't see the familiar figure anymore, I breathed a sigh of relief. Little did I know that in the moment I left, my brother stepped out from the shadows. Watching the direction, I went with a dark expression. I stood in the huge campus, a bit lost and clueless. Just then, a gentle-looking guy appeared in front of me. "Hey there, freshman. Are you lost? I can show you where to go." "I'm Benton, the student council president," he said with a smile. I smiled shyly back and softly said, "Thank you, senior." Benton quickly took my luggage and led the way. He was giving me a very proper introduction to the school, acting just like a helpful senior. But he can't fool me. I smelled a faint trace of blood on him. The smell of blood is very familiar to me. People who kill often have a lingering scent. Behind Benton, I smiled delightfully. Here we go. Another tool to strengthen my bond with my brother. On the way, I accidentally tripped and fell. Benton, of course, caught me just in time. I blushed and apologized. Looking at my face, Benton gave a meaningful smile. But he had no idea that in my mind I was counting down. 3, 2. Before I could even finish, a slender hand grabbed my shoulder and pulled me into a chest. My brother chuckled deeply. "Luna, sorry I'm late." I frowned and struggled a bit. I knew Benton wouldn't miss this little move of mine. Sure enough, he asked seriously, "Luna, is he really your brother?" I murmured a quiet and whispered, "Thank you, senior. My brother will take me from here." Benton frowned but still smiled at me. "Okay, then let's exchange message. You might need help with a lot of things being new here." Under my brother's dark gaze, I blushed and exchanged message with Benton. After Benton left, my brother chuckled. "Luna was blushing just now. What, you like this type? But he's not really a good guy." "Brother, don't talk about the senior like that. Not everyone is like you." I stopped with a pale face. My brother smirked. "Oh, Luna, why don't you continue?" He was smiling, but his eyes grew darker. Tools are definitely useful. The new roommates are pretty nice, but because they're so nice, they aren't that interesting. I lay on my bed eating chips, casually chatting with Benton. I must say, he's really good at charming girls. The conversation was just right, never overstepping. Much better than those guys who immediately start with, "Hey, wanna send a selfie?" But that can't change the fact that he's a scumbag and my tool. I quickly hacked his phone. I saw he was chatting with 8 other girls while messaging me. Such impressive time management and speed. I must be his new target because he pinned me. The note read, 168, naive, clueless, pure. Soon, I found a chat group of 500 people in his message. The group title was Conquer Those Bitches. All the members were male. Benton posted something in the group today. He had secretly taken photos of me and posted them. Oh, look at that fair, fresh face. I'd really love to peel it off. An innocent girl. My favorite type to torment. I've killed quite a few like her. Why do all women who abandon me look like that? Bro, Go for her, your methods are so much better. You often don't even need to do it yourself. Girls end up taking their lives for you, like those who slit their wrists or jumped off a building. Benton, thanks guys. So how do you all want me to torture this new prey? Chop off her feet? Peel off her face? That's boring. How about we cook her alive? Throw her in a big oven, ha ha ha. The group chat was gruesome and cruel. It was as if they weren't talking about a person, but livestock ready for slaughter. I've been talking to Benton for days. During this time, I've been hanging up on my brother's calls and rejecting his video chats. I know he won't be able to hold it in much longer. So, I saw on Benton's phone that he decided today would be the day to kill me. He planned to strangle me until I was barely breathing, and then pour boiling water over me. The boiling water would scald my skin, and he would scrape off my flesh layer by layer. His method of killing me got a lot of thumbs up from the guys in the group. Soon after, Benton sent me a message on Message. Luna, would you like to see a movie with me today? He asked. Of course I said yes. I was in a good mood and humming a tune when I texted my brother, whom I hadn't talked to in ages. Bro, Benton and I are going to the movies today. Please, I'm begging you. He's really important to me, so please don't do anything to him. I expressed all the concern of a girl in love for her heartthrob perfectly. My brother didn't reply, but I knew he was losing it with jealousy. Benton and I went to see the movie. Afterwards, there was a strange glint in his eyes. He looked at me and said, Luna, I want to take you somewhere. It's beautiful, and I think you'll like it. I shyly nodded, but as we walked further, something felt off. Why is it getting darker, Benton? I said, feeling anxious. He tried to reassure me, Luna, we're almost there. Don't worry, I'm here with you. Finally, Benton brings me to the place, an abandoned, rundown factory. It's dark and empty. I look at him puzzled. Benton just smiles. He takes a long breath and lets it out. Luna, do you know what the sweetest meat in the world is? It's a woman's. You pour boiling water over her and let her skin and flesh blister. Then carve it out slowly with a knife. Benton licked his lips. Why are you telling me this? I realized something wasn't right and tried to run away in terror. But Benton grabs my hand tightly. In his other hand, he holds a rope. Luna, it's time for some fun. No, I thought calmly to myself, it's time for your final curtain call. Benton was tied up and gagged with his own shoe, staring at us with terrified eyes and making muffled sounds. See, Luna? He wasn't a good guy, my brother calmly stated. Why, Benton? I really liked you. Tears streamed down my face. As expected, the word like made the air around my brother chill even more. He turned to me with a smile, his slender fingers lifting my chin. Do you really like this guy, Luna? I nodded quickly and then shook my head, tearfully saying, there must be some mistake. Benton isn't like this. Benton nodded frantically, making a muffled scene. So annoying. My brother's anger was at its peak. He smiled sweetly and walked toward Benton. Why don't we use the method you wanted to kill Luna? How about that? Terror etched deep onto Benton's twisted face. Before killing Benton, my brother wrapped a ribbon around my eyes. Luna, you won't want to see what comes next. Darkness surrounded me. I heard my brother let out a soft sigh. After that, I felt warmth on my eyelids. A gentle kiss through the ribbon landed there. Benton's screams lasted a very long time. When I could finally see again, he was a mangled mess of flesh. My brother took a video with Benton's phone and sent it to the 500-member chat group. The chat went dead silent. Within a minute, the admin dissolved the group. But it doesn't matter, we'll hunt them down one by one. My brother will show them what real pain is. He walked toward me, covered in blood. Luna, are you scared of how I look? He asked. I nervously nodded but still reached out, trembling, to wipe the blood off his face. Suddenly, he hugged me tightly. So firmly, it was like he wanted to crush me into his arms. Brother's epilogue. I have a sister named Luna. She's not my biological sister. But from the first moment I saw her, I was smitten. Whenever she saw me kill, she'd have a look of horror on her face. But she's odd. I'd leave clues on purpose, and she'd clean up after me while complaining. I finally figured it out. She likes to put on a show. My adorable Luna loves to act like a pitiful damsel. She likes me but often does things on purpose that drive me up the wall. Luna thinks I'm clueless, but I know everything. Not just me, even mom and dad know about her quirks. But we all spoil her. We can't help it, so we just go along with her little act.